In this video, we will go over 10 critical mistakes people make with broccoli that can not only harm your health, but may also have serious consequences. This vegetable is considered one of the healthiest, yet few people realize that consuming it incorrectly can lead to severe health issues. A lack of awareness about simple guidelines can result in food poisoning, stomach problems, liver and kidney dysfunction, and even an increased risk of developing serious illnesses. Each point is based on real medical data, research conducted by American institutions, and actual cases of individuals who suffered due to common mistakes. One of these mistakes might already be silently affecting your body, and you may not even be aware of it. We have ranked these mistakes based on their level of danger, starting with seemingly harmless ones and ending with those that pose a serious threat to well-being. Make sure to watch the video until the end to avoid the most dangerous mistake and protect your health. This video is going to be incredibly informative and helpful. If you want to take control of your health like a pro, give it a like, and let's get started. Mistake number 10, storing broccoli for too long. Broccoli is a true powerhouse of vitamins and antioxidants, but its nutritional value decreases rapidly if it is kept in the refrigerator for too long. Freshly harvested broccoli contains high concentrations of vitamin C, folates, and glucosinolates, compounds that, according to research from the University of Illinois, have powerful properties that support overall health. However, after just 3 to 4 days of storage at a temperature of approximately 4 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Fahrenheit, this green superfood can lose up to 50% of its beneficial nutrients. But that is not the biggest concern. When broccoli begins to wilt, turn yellow, or develop mold, it does not just lose its benefits, it becomes genuinely hazardous. Harmful bacteria and mold, such as Aspergillus and Penicillium, actively multiply on its surface, releasing toxic mycotoxins. According to the United States National Institute of Food Research, prolonged consumption of such substances can lead to chronic intestinal inflammation, liver damage, and even an increased risk of serious diseases. American doctors have encountered multiple cases of patients who suffered after consuming spoiled vegetables. For example, a 49-year-old man was admitted to a clinic in San Diego after eating spoiled broccoli. He developed severe gastroenteritis, which led to intense diarrhea and vomiting, causing dangerous dehydration. Tests revealed the presence of harmful toxins in his body, requiring hospitalization and intensive treatment to stabilize his condition. To prevent such consequences, broccoli should be stored properly. The best approach is to consume it as soon as possible, ideally within 2 days of purchase. If storage is necessary, it is best to use airtight containers or paper towels to absorb excess moisture and slow down spoilage. Freezing is another effective solution. Research from the University of California shows that frozen broccoli retains up to 80% of its vitamins if it is properly prepared by blanching before freezing. Mistake number 9, cooking at too high a temperature. Broccoli is one of the most valuable vegetables for health, but improper cooking can turn this superfood into a nutritionally empty mass, and in some cases, even cause harm to the body. Research from the Harvard School of Public Health shows that boiling broccoli for 5 minutes destroys up to 60% of its vitamin C, while prolonged stewing or frying can strip the vegetable of nearly all its antioxidants and glucosinolates, compounds that, according to the United States National Cancer Institute, have the ability to slow down the growth of abnormal cells. But that is not all. When broccoli is exposed to intense heat, its fiber breaks down and its natural sugars caramelize, making the vegetable not only less nutritious but also harder to digest. Regular consumption of overcooked broccoli can put additional strain on the liver and intestines. A study by Johns Hopkins University found that people who frequently eat overcooked vegetables are 30% more likely to experience bloating, digestive issues, and liver function disturbances. A 52-year-old woman was recently admitted to a hospital in Miami, complaining of chronic fatigue and discomfort in the upper right side of her abdomen. Blood tests showed elevated liver enzyme levels, and during the consultation, it was revealed that she regularly ate broccoli fried at high temperatures. Doctors concluded that her issues were partially linked to an excess of oxidative processes caused by improper cooking methods. To preserve broccoli's beneficial properties, it is crucial to cook it correctly. Scientific data confirms that the best method is steaming for 3 to 4 minutes, which results in a loss of no more than 10% of vitamin C. Another option is lightly stir-frying on low heat for no longer than 2 minutes, or blanching in boiling water for no more than 30 seconds. This approach allows you to retain the maximum amount of nutrients without turning broccoli into an overcooked, nutritionally depleted dish. Mistake number 8, eating broccoli stems without cooking. Unlike the tender florets, broccoli stems are dense and fibrous, requiring significant effort from the digestive system to break down. On average, an adult should consume between 25 and 30 grams of fiber per day, but just 1 cup of raw broccoli already contains about 5 grams. Adding tough, uncooked stems significantly increases the strain on the intestines, which can lead to discomfort and, in some cases, even serious digestive issues. Gastroenterologists from the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases warn that excessive consumption of unsoftened fiber can worsen gastrointestinal conditions. According to a study published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology, 48% of patients with gastritis who regularly ate tough, raw fiber experienced worsening symptoms, including pain, cramps, bloating, and even inflammation of the stomach lining. This is particularly concerning for individuals with colitis or irritable bowel syndrome. According to statistics from the Mayo Clinic, approximately 11% of the United States population suffers from irritable bowel syndrome. For these individuals, raw broccoli stems can cause severe discomfort, triggering sharp pain, cramps, chronic constipation, or diarrhea. A gastroenterology department in a Chicago clinic recently treated a man who had been trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle by eating raw broccoli stems daily, believing them to be a great source of vitamins. Over time, he developed a severe intestinal blockage caused by an accumulation of undigested fiber. Although surgery was avoided, he required several days of intensive therapy to restore normal bowel function. To prevent such issues, broccoli stems should be cooked before eating. Boiling, stewing, or roasting softens the fibers, making them easier to digest. The best cooking method is blanching or lightly steaming for 5 to 6 minutes. Research from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health confirms that this method preserves the maximum amount of nutrients while reducing the strain on the digestive system. If you prefer to eat the stems raw, it is best to grate them or slice them thinly and add them to salads in small amounts. Mistake number 7, eating raw broccoli with digestive disorders. In its raw form, this vegetable can become a real challenge for the stomach, especially for individuals with gastritis, peptic ulcers, or high stomach acidity. Broccoli contains a significant amount of coarse fiber, approximately 2 6/10 grams per 100 grams of the vegetable, as well as sulforaphane. According to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, this compound can irritate the stomach lining, potentially leading to inflammation and tissue damage. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that 53% of people with gastritis who included raw broccoli in their diet experienced worsened symptoms after 2 weeks, reporting increased pain, heartburn, and a feeling of heaviness in the stomach. The issue lies not only in the tough fiber, but also in the high concentration of sulfur-containing compounds, which can cause excessive gas production. Raw broccoli can be particularly problematic for individuals with stomach ulcers. According to data from Johns Hopkins Medicine, approximately 4 million Americans suffer from peptic ulcer disease, and consuming foods that irritate the stomach lining can lead to serious complications, including internal bleeding. A 42-year-old man was recently hospitalized in a California clinic after trying to improve his health by eating raw broccoli salads daily. After several weeks, he began experiencing intense pain, and an emergency examination revealed severe stomach inflammation and signs of a bleeding ulcer. To prevent such issues, people with sensitive stomachs should avoid raw broccoli and opt for cooked versions instead. The best approach is steaming or simmering at a temperature of approximately 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. This method helps retain most of the vitamins while making the vegetable gentler on the stomach. Another option is adding broccoli to soups or blending it into purees to minimize direct contact with the irritated stomach lining. Mistake number 6, combining broccoli with dairy products. Broccoli is rightfully considered one of the best sources of vitamins and minerals, but its benefits drop significantly when paired with dairy products. The reason lies in its rich content of iron and magnesium, two essential minerals for overall health. However, dairy products, especially cheese and cream, contain high levels of calcium, which, according to research from the National Institutes of Health, reduces the absorption of these minerals by nearly 50%. Iron is crucial for blood formation, and a deficiency in this nutrient is directly linked to the development of anemia. According to data from the American Society of Hematology, anemia affects 5 and 0.6% of Americans, with women and older adults being particularly at risk. If someone regularly eats broccoli with cheese or cream, they are essentially blocking iron absorption, which can lead to weakness, dizziness, chronic fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. Magnesium, on the other hand, plays a key role in cardiovascular health. A study conducted by the Cleveland Clinic found that 38% of patients with chronic heart conditions had a magnesium deficiency, which increased their risk of arrhythmia and high blood pressure. Adding dairy products to the mix further hinders magnesium absorption, making the situation even more concerning. A case was recently reported in a Texas clinic involving a 57-year-old woman who suffered from anemia and high blood pressure. For several months, she regularly ate broccoli with cheese sauce, believing it to be a nutritious meal. However, instead of feeling better, her condition worsened. Her iron levels dropped to a critical point, and her blood pressure became unstable. Doctors had to urgently adjust her diet and prescribe supplements to restore the missing nutrients. To avoid these issues, broccoli is best paired with foods rich in vitamin C, which actually enhances iron absorption. Great options include lemon juice, bell peppers, berries, or fresh tomatoes. If you want to include cheese or cream in your diet, it is better to consume them at different meals so that the essential nutrients have a chance to be properly absorbed without interference. Mistake number 5, storing broccoli in plastic. Fresh broccoli is packed with vitamins and antioxidants, but improper storage can turn it into a breeding ground for harmful bacteria and mold. Many people simply place it in a plastic bag and put it in the refrigerator, unaware that they are creating the perfect conditions for dangerous microorganisms to thrive. In a sealed environment, moisture accumulates, and at a temperature between 4 and 7 degrees Celsius, 39 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit, bacteria such as Escherichia coli and Salmonella can multiply rapidly, leading to serious food poisoning. A study conducted by the National Center for Biotechnology Information found that more than 63% of intestinal infections in the United States are linked to contaminated vegetables stored in high moisture conditions. The humidity inside a plastic bag can reach 95%, which provides the ideal environment for mold, particularly Aspergillus. This type of mold releases mycotoxins, substances that can harm the liver and contribute to chronic stomach inflammation. A recent case in a Seattle hospital demonstrated the dangers of consuming contaminated broccoli. A 34-year-old man, committed to healthy eating, had been eating broccoli for several days without realizing that mold spores were already spreading on it. As a result, he developed a severe intestinal infection, experienced intense abdominal pain, and had to be hospitalized due to suspected toxic liver damage. To prevent such issues, broccoli should be stored correctly. The best method is to wrap the vegetable in a damp paper towel and place it in the crisper drawer of the refrigerator. If using a plastic bag is unavoidable, it should be left open to allow air circulation. The ideal storage temperature for broccoli is between 0 and 3 degrees Celsius, 32 and 37 degrees Fahrenheit, and it should be consumed within 5 to 7 days. If the broccoli starts turning yellow, becoming soft, or developing a coating on the surface, eating it could be hazardous. Mistake number 4, eating broccoli while taking anticoagulants. For people taking anticoagulants, broccoli can become an unnoticed risk factor. This vegetable contains a high concentration of vitamin K, which plays a key role in blood clotting. According to the National Institutes of Health, 100 grams of broccoli contains approximately 102 micrograms of vitamin K, which is more than 85% of the daily recommended intake for an adult. For a healthy person, this is not a concern. However, for those taking anticoagulant medications such as warfarin or apixaban, broccoli can significantly reduce the effectiveness of treatment. Anticoagulants are designed to thin the blood and prevent clot formation, but vitamin K has the opposite effect. It promotes clotting. A study by the American Heart Association found that 62% of patients who continued eating broccoli regularly while taking warfarin experienced a loss of blood clotting control, tripling their risk of thrombosis and stroke. This is especially concerning for individuals with cardiovascular diseases. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, more than 2,600,000 people in the United States suffer from atrial fibrillation and take anticoagulants to prevent strokes. If these patients suddenly increase their intake of vitamin K-rich foods, their blood can begin clotting faster, making their medication ineffective. Doctors at a clinic in New York encountered a patient who was unaware of this risk and ate broccoli almost every day. After 2 months, his tests showed that his medication had stopped working, and he was hospitalized with a diagnosis of deep vein thrombosis. To prevent such issues, people taking anticoagulants must maintain a consistent level of vitamin K in their diet. This does not mean broccoli needs to be completely eliminated, but its consumption should be steady and moderate. Doctors recommend eating no more than 50 to 70 grams of broccoli per day, and always consulting with a healthcare provider before making any dietary changes. Mistake number 3, eating broccoli with thyroid disorders. Broccoli, like other cruciferous vegetables, contains goitrogens, compounds that can negatively affect thyroid function. Normally, the thyroid gland regulates metabolism, energy levels, and various bodily functions. However, when the body lacks iodine, its performance declines. A study conducted by the American Thyroid Association found that 35% of patients with iodine deficiency who regularly consumed broccoli experienced further hormonal imbalances, leading to increased fatigue, swelling, and weight gain. Goitrogens interfere with the absorption of iodine, which is essential for producing thyroid hormones. According to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, approximately 4 6/10% of the United States population suffers from hypothyroidism, and many people are unaware of their condition. Consuming large amounts of broccoli can worsen the problem, causing weakness, apathy, and cognitive decline. At the Mayo Clinic, a case was reported involving a 49-year-old woman who experienced a sharp decline in thyroid-stimulating hormone levels after regularly eating broccoli and cauliflower. As a result, she gained 7 kilograms, approximately 15 pounds, in just 2 months. To minimize the risks, people with thyroid conditions do not need to completely avoid broccoli, but moderation is important. Cooking significantly reduces the goitrogen content, making boiling or steaming a safer option. Doctors also recommend pairing broccoli with iodine-rich foods such as seaweed or fish to help balance iodine levels and prevent deficiencies. Mistake number 2, consuming broccoli with nitrates and pesticides. Few people realize that along with this nutritious vegetable, they may also be consuming a hidden mix of chemicals. During intensive farming, broccoli absorbs nitrates from the soil and is often coated with pesticides used to protect it from insects. A study conducted by the Environmental Working Group found that 68% of broccoli samples collected from commercial farms in the United States contained traces of multiple pesticides, and 11% exceeded the allowable limits. The danger of these chemicals lies in their cumulative effect. When nitrates enter the body, they can convert into nitrites, which interfere with oxygen transport in the blood. Research from the National Cancer Institute found that regular consumption of vegetables with high nitrate levels increases the risk of stomach-related health issues by 32%. Pesticides, particularly organophosphates, have been linked to liver, kidney, and nervous system damage. A study by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that 27% of patients with chronic kidney disease had detectable levels of pesticide residues in their blood, most of which came from food consumption. A case was recently reported at a Los Angeles clinic where a 45-year-old man was hospitalized with acute poisoning. He was unaware that he had been eating broccoli daily that had been grown with excessive fertilizer use. Over time, accumulated toxins led to liver inflammation and kidney dysfunction. Doctors determined that the cause was consuming unwashed and untreated broccoli that had been heavily sprayed with chemicals. To reduce these risks, broccoli should always be washed thoroughly. The best method is to soak it in water with vinegar or baking soda for 15 to 20 minutes. A study from the University of Massachusetts Amherst showed that this process removes up to 90% of pesticide residues. Additionally, choosing organic broccoli from trusted sources can help minimize exposure to harmful chemicals. Now, let's take a look at the most dangerous mistake people make with broccoli. Mistake number 1, eating spoiled broccoli with mold. Fresh broccoli is a powerhouse of nutrients, but once it starts to spoil, it can turn into a serious health hazard. Mold that appears on its surface produces mycotoxins, poisonous substances that penetrate deep into the vegetable's tissues and cannot be removed by simply cutting off the affected area. A study conducted by the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences found that even minimal consumption of foods containing mycotoxins increases the risk of liver and kidney diseases by 27%. The real danger is that mold is not always visible to the naked eye. Fungal spores spread throughout the vegetable, reaching deep into its structure, and their toxins remain even after cooking. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, 39% of patients with chronic liver conditions were found to have traces of mycotoxins in their system from contaminated food. Long-term consumption of such toxins can lead to liver damage, kidney failure, and nervous system disorders. A recent case at a San Francisco hospital highlights this risk. A 52-year-old woman was admitted with symptoms of severe poisoning, including nausea, dizziness, and extreme weakness. Doctors diagnosed her with toxic liver damage, and further investigation revealed that she had been adding broccoli with barely visible mold spots to her meals for a week. To avoid putting your health at risk, broccoli showing any signs of spoilage, such as yellowing, sliminess, an unpleasant odor, or mold spots, should be discarded immediately. Even if only a small part appears affected, the mold has likely spread throughout the entire vegetable. The best way to store broccoli is in the refrigerator at a temperature between 0 and 3 degrees Celsius, 32 and 37 degrees Fahrenheit, for no longer than 5 to 7 days. If you do not plan to eat it right away, freezing is a great option to prevent spoilage and minimize the risk of exposure to harmful fungi. Next, I recommend checking out these videos, and don't forget to leave your likes and comments. I'm looking forward to them.